Never thought 2020 would end, but here we are. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel this new year, and I think I speak for most of us when I say it is so nice to leave 2020 behind us and look forward to a new fresh year with new exciting opportunities. So I thought that I would warm up after the holiday break with some marker art, my comfort art supplies. OHUHU sent me their brand new set of 48 pastel color brush markers. Look at those colors, oh my, so gorgeous and delicious. The 7-year-old me is so thrilled about these colors, so I thought it would be fun to try them out. So these are brush markers, and I have to say I love the OHUHU brush markers, and also of course they have a chisel nib at the other end. And yeah, let's swatch these. Oh, they actually included color swatch cards, because I was just about to say that the colors may actually be a little different from the printed version, and I was ready to swatch them on my own paper, but now we actually have these color cards, so that is awesome. Also, we get this little plastic sheet that you can put under the paper that you're drawing on, because these are alcohol-based markers, so they will in most cases bleed through the paper. So this is a good way to protect your desk or whatever you have under your paper. So let's just do a quick swatchy swatch. So what is a pastel color? To me it is a color that is light and a bit muted, like if the color has been mixed with white almost, if that makes any sense. And when reading the description of a pastel color on the trusty old internet, a pastel color belongs to a pale family of colors, have a high value and low saturation. So basically a bright color but a bit muted. And while these OHUHU pastel colors, they look so vivid and fantastic, some of them feels a little less pastel, to be honest, more to the neon side almost. Also, I kind of wish that some of them were a little lighter. Many of them feels very close to mid-tones, which is fine and all, but I sometimes miss that in the OHUHU color range, the super light colors, but besides that, they look fabulous. My brain is still a little mushy after the lazy break that I've had, so instead of coming up with new art, let's find some art that I can remake and maybe improve and make it better. I have this guy. Yeah, you might have seen this big boy before. The box where I keep all my finished art. So if you ever wondered what I do with the art that I create, I just put it in this box and never look at it again until I make a video like this. And I know that somewhere in this box I have a drawing that I made with pastel color markers only. So let's see if I can find it. I thought it would be fun to try to remake that, and maybe I can find some other art in here that I can also remake. Let's see what we have here. Oh, this one would actually be kind of cool to remake in markers. Oh, this one. This one is pretty old, from 2009. I was still living at home at that time, so I think I already have a redrawing of this, so let's see if I can find it somewhere in this box. Ah, here it is. Some of you might recognize this. It is from 2015, so it is pretty old, but I made it as a challenge, only using pastel color markers. I think this can be really fun to try to redo in my current style with some new fresh markers. So let's see if I can find that other husky puppy. Oh, finally, here it is. This one is from 2014, so there is 5 years apart. I think my style is quite different now, so I think it would be fun to see how I would draw this now. So yeah, I think I have some art now that I want to redraw. I am itching to organize all of this art right now, but I think that will have to wait for another video because I think it will take some time. That will be one of my goals for this year, trying to organize all my art. Ooh, that would be so satisfying. But yeah, this is the piece that I want to try to recreate with the OHUHU pastel color markers. I really want to try to redraw this one again. This one isn't that old. I made it last year, but I think it would be so much fun to try to make like a rainbow fur with markers. But yeah, let's start with this one. Alright, so we have this kitty cat here, and I think I called the art Too Many Eyes or something like that, which is quite fitting. So my goal is to redraw the old art but in my current style, and I have a quite fluid art style. I mean, I have a base style that I hope shines through in my art, but I like to try different techniques and way of drawing things, and that is why I really love redrawing my old art, even if it's only a year old, because I do change things quite frequently. And I'm not saying that that is how it's supposed to be for everyone, but personally I would get a little bored and uninspired if I would have to draw the same way all the time. So something that I have noticed when I use art as reference is that I tend to draw what I see. I mean, I have my own style, as I mentioned, but if I see something that I like in the reference, I kind of want to add it to my own art. I want to draw that myself. And I think that is what happened with this piece. I got a little too affected by the old art and I went away a little bit from my current style. But then again, my style is more fluid, so maybe that is just alright. That is how it's supposed to be, maybe. I still like it though, but as I said, I feel I could have done it a little differently, but I choose to see it as a warm-up after the break, so I don't want to be too hard on myself. And as you may have noticed, I didn't add as much pink to this one as in the original. To be honest, I didn't like the pinks included in this set too much. They were all a little too saturated and too warm. I would have preferred a more cool toned and lighter pink. So I went with a lot of purple instead, which I don't mind. I love purple. And I know I have a bunch of colors to choose from, but I still try to limit the amount that I use to try to tie the different colors together. The pink that I used for the inner parts of the ears, I reused for the nose, the green for the bow, I also used for the eyes, and the yellow in the eyes I later used for the background, and the purple for the fur I used throughout the whole drawing as shading as well. It just makes the whole drawing feel a little more cohesive. And at this point, the coloring, it is so soft, so it kind of looks a little out of focus, you know, a little fuzzy. So I want to add some kind of outlines to tie it together. And I first tried a color pencil, a purple one, to try to keep the soft look as I did in the original, but I didn't like that at all. Also, I don't do that a lot in my art anymore, using color pencils for the outlines, so I went with my trusty old brush pen instead. Afterwards, I realized I could have used the new OHUHU fine liner set, but I totally forgot about that. Sorry. So did I improve it? Is it better than the original? Well, I like some parts better in the new one, but the old one has a very interesting style, so it feels a little more unique, to be honest. I'm not sure if it has the same pastel color vibe as the original does. As I said, I think this pastel set could have benefited from a few more even lighter tones. Anyway, here it is. It is cute. It represents my current style, kind of, but it was a very fun experience. Let me know which one you like the most. Anyway, let's do the next one. So I decided to try to redraw the colorful tiger. I had plans to do all three of them, the husky too, but Wednesday this week was a holiday, so my brother came over and we played some board games, so I kind of lost one of my art days, so I had to choose between the two of them, and I felt the colorful tiger would have been the most fun to see redrawn, so yeah, here we are. And I'm redrawing this in a different medium than the original. The original is made with a tritone color pencils. It is a color pencil with 3 colors in one. I tested them out in a video a little while ago. I will leave a link to it here somewhere if you would like to check it out. But I wasn't too fond of the result back then when I made the first one, so I really hope I will like this one a little better. It doesn't look like much right now in the beginning, it looks a little flat and lifeless, but I think once I start adding more details and give it a little more fur texture and adding the stripes, it gets a little more alive. So I'm basically just adding the different colors and blending them to a somewhat smooth gradient. And here I also try to stick to limited colors. Well, there are a lot of colors, but I try to limit them to only 2 shades per color. And for some reason, this has a lot more pastel vibe than the cat. Maybe I'm using lighter colors and I'm not muddying them by mixing them with purple, I don't know, but I had so much fun working with this. I have just come to love making colorful art. The result is always so satisfying. And I was first thinking that I would use this violet color for the stripes and the darker parts to try to keep the pastel color scheme, but I didn't like that at all, to be honest, so I went in with a OHUHU fine liner set instead. This time I remembered. And this one has a brush pen that is great for the fur texture. I have a whole video about these fine liner pens if you would like to check it out. I will have a link to it here somewhere. And the black stripes and the outlines, it really brought this piece together. And I think I did a much better job this time to make something new with the art, and I didn't use the old art too much as a reference, more than for the colors. And yeah, it is just a head floating in the air, while the original is more like a portrait. But as I said, my work week was a little shorter than usual, and this is what I had time for. So yeah, just some quick thoughts about this pastel set. It is a great set with some really pretty colors, and I feel it is quite versatile since it has some gray colors and brown colors included as well. Personally, as I mentioned, I would have loved a few even lighter tones, but other than that, it is a lovely set. Let me know, did I improve the art? Did I make it worse? Or maybe they are just too different to compare. But I love how the tiger turned out. It is definitely my favorite. Either way, I had a lot of fun. It was a very nice little warm-up for this new year. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks OHUHU for the pastel markers. If you like these kinds of colors, I can really recommend them. I will have all the links in the description box below if you would like to check it out yourself. Thank you so much for watching. I hope I will see you next time. Keep drawing my happy cats. Bye!